How were political revolutions during the 1700s and 1800s similar and different?
In this video, we will be discussing the similarities and differences between the American and Mexican revolutions. To start, let's talk about time and place. Both the American and Mexican revolutions took place at different times. The American Revolution in the 1700s and the Mexican Revolution in the 1800s, but both took place on the North American continent. The map in the center shows North America, with the United States in the somewhat center and Mexico a little below. Then on the right and left are drawings from both revolutions. On the right it shows the American Revolution, and on the left it shows the Mexican Revolution. The American Revolution that started in 1775 and ended in 1783 is also known as the American Revolutionary War and was the war for independence from England. The conflict arose from growing tensions between the residents of Great Britain's 13 North American colonies and the colonial government. The colonies were upset about being ruled with no representation from so far away.
I'm going to raise taxes on tea and rule you from far away.
That's unfair. We want to be represented equally.
Well, I'm the king and I make the decisions.
Well, I want independence.
Throughout the American Revolution, there were a lot of deaths. Around 8,445 people were wounded and 18,000 people had died of disease. The ones that were captured and sent to prison had died as well, and that was around 8,500 deaths. 20,000 were either declared MIA or missing in action. In total, the American Revolution had led to a lot of hardships in order for them to be free.
Even though the Mexican and American revolutions both started because of inequalities, they were different. The American Revolution started because of unfair taxes, while the Mexican Revolution started because of the social hierarchy. Also in America, there were slaves who were able to be freed by fighting, unlike Mexico.
You know, I heard that other people are being treated equally.
What? Really? Are the things will change for us too?
Stop talking, get back to work.
Maybe one day we'll be treated equally.
These maps show the battles of both revolutions. On the left, there are two maps showing the battles led by the main generals, Madero and Diaz, during the Mexican Revolution. Then on the right, the map shows the American Revolution and the battles that took place.
Before the revolution, Mexico did not develop a strong social system. The social structure did not give equality to all people, which created disparity between the rich and poor. The revolution did not start until Madero became the president and only focusing on the political changes. This caused Victoriano uprising with politicians, diet and riots to overthrow Madero.
We want money and supplies.
No,
Why?
because Spain needs to keep Napoleon out. We don't have the time or money to help you.
So we should plan for rebellion, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to sever our ties.
Mexican Revolution was started by the separation between the different social classes and the races. This chart shows that the most of the Mexican population in 1821 were Indians and mestizos. However, European creoles were in the top class and dominated politically with only 18% of the population. With this highly unbalanced social structure caused the Mexican Revolution.
In Mexico, wealthy landowners prospered, but most of the population was living in poverty. There was a lot of inequality between social classes, even though most people couldn't tell the difference between the classes. For example, many Creoles, someone with descent from Spain, born in America, were killed instead of Peninsulares, someone born in Spain and came to America.
Would you like to buy this blanket?
I don't want anything to do with you lower class people.
Why not?
Because you're poor.
What does that affect the blanket?
I don't know, it's probably made of like cheap fabric or something.
Come on, man. We are people.
Yeah, we're just people.
Well, yeah, but like you're poor people, so that's probably not good quality at all.
That's
Don't
not fair.
understand this.
The Declaration of Independence was adopted in Philadelphia on July 4, 1776, which explained that the 13 colonies were now independent and no longer under the British rule. Thomas Jefferson was the author of the Declaration of Independence, as John Adams had persuaded the Congress to have him write and edit it. The Declaration had justified the United States independence by listing the grievances about King George III. They also inserted some natural and legal rights, as well as the right of a revolution. Since then, it has become a well-known statement on human rights, as in the second sentence it states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness."
The Second Libyan Civil War. The Second Libyan Civil War is an ongoing conflict among the rival groups seeking control of the territory of Libya. The conflict has been mostly between the government of the House of Representatives that was elected in 2014, also known as the Tobruk government, and internationally recognized as the Liberian government, and the rival General National Congress endorsed government, also called the National Salvation Government, based in the capital Tripoli, established after Operation Liberian Dawn. The conflict began on 15 February 2011 as a chain of civil protests and later evolved into an widespread uprising against the regime of the old president of Libyan Republic of Iraq.
In conclusion, the American and Mexican revolutions were both similar and different. In the similarities, we showed how in both revolutions they fought for freedom to rule their own lives and to get away from being ruled by a place that is very far. For the differences, we showed how different their social hierarchy was from each other, and in the end they both ended the same way, with everybody allowed freedom.
What are you doing?